Hey guys, Ryan here from Caffeine Hosting, and today going to be building an online store all about selling coffee online. So whether you own your own coffee roaster, you're retailing other people's coffees, or even private labeling your own coffee, creating your own coffee brand, this site's going to be perfect for you. So we're going to be using WordPress. WordPress is a open source content management system. So basically a website builder. It's the most popular website builder out there on the internet, powers more websites than any other content management system. So what that means for you is that there's a bunch of third-party developers creating different themes and plugins, all designed to increase the features and functionality of WordPress itself. You will need to get a host. So if you head to Caffeine Hosting, click Get Started, you can choose your domain name, which your domain name is what people search to be able to get to your website. So for instance, Caffeine Hosting's domain name is caffeinehosting.com. So you can choose that. Choose your hosting plan. So a host is a server that stores your website and makes it accessible to the internet. So without a host, you don't have a website. So you can go ahead to Caffeine Hosting, get started with those. We're going to be using Woocommerce to add e-commerce functionality to our WordPress website. Woocommerce is free to use, it's owned by WordPress as well. So it all works perfectly. We're going to be using their Storefront theme, which is built by WooCommerce specifically for WooCommerce. So as I said, everything's just going to work perfectly. It's really, really good, really, really simple to use. And that's one of the big benefits of going with something like Storefront. It's just super, super simple. It's really hard to make a bad looking website with something like Storefront. So we're going to be using that today. So one of the current offers I am running for Caffeine Hosting is if you go through, if you purchase your domain name with us and go the month-to-month plan, if you use coupon code TRIAL at checkout, if you're on the month-to-month plan, you'll get your first month of hosting for 1 cent when you purchase a domain name. And one of the current offers is Storefront consultations. So I'm going to help you build a website just like the one we're building now. We're going to get a call. We're going to go for an hour, and we're going to be able to go through. And my goal is to help you build your website from scratch and get started faster. It's something I really want to do and really help people get started, because one of the big hurdles of getting started with something like WordPress is that initial barrier to entry, and that's with a lot of web design. So we are offering free one-on-one consultations to help you get your Storefront website up and running. We're going to be going through a bunch of different things really to get you up and going. So yeah, if you go coupon code TRIAL at checkout, actually any plans, to be honest, you'll get the free consultation. It's just something that I might not be able to offer this in the long term. So first in, best dressed. Yeah, if you go and check that out, that's something I'm offering at the moment. So we have our installation of WordPress ready to go. This is once you've installed WordPress, this is basically what you'll see. This is a fresh installation here. I've also got, I'm just getting some filler text. I like having a bit of filler text on some of the content, just because then you can get an understanding about how the final product will look. But of course, you just replace this filler text with your own sales copy or your own content on your own website. That's perfectly okay for you to use. For my product images, I've just gone and downloaded a bunch of stock images. I like using Pexels. I think it's a really cool a database. So if you just go to pexels.com or Unsplashed, I think is also a really good one. And you can just search through a whole bunch of different ones. So for example, for the coffee one, I just went coffee. And there's a bunch of images. But of course, so these can be really good for some of like the product categories or your banner image. You can use some of these. These are all royalty-free stock images that you're more than welcome to use. And then you just replace the product images with your own products. So we're about ready to go. I'm just going to go and hide the camera so you can see the full screen. Perfect. So first thing we always have to do is head to /wp-admin. So that's going to be the login page for WordPress. All WordPress websites have the same login page, and we're going to use login credentials we created when we first installed WordPress. So I'm using the username admin here, but I highly, highly recommend you never use the username admin. It's if someone's going to try and hack into your website, there are a bunch of they're going to use some of the most common usernames and passwords and try and get access to your website. So stuff like admin, username, and the name of your website, they're going to be what people are going to try to use to hack into your website. So don't use those. First thing I always like to do is change the permalink structures. So I'm just going to go to settings and permalinks. Permalinks are basically the words that come after your main domain name. Basic default WordPress is going to have the date in them or plain, so like a P1234 or just a bunch of random numbers, which isn't great. So we're just going to change that to post name and then go publish. Perfect. Next thing we're going to do is go and install WooCommerce. So I'm going to go plugins, add new. And we are going to search for a plugin called WooCommerce and enter. Install now. And it does take a little bit of time to install, just because it is a bit of a larger plugin. So just click install now. It's going to download, and then we can activate it. And that's going to take us through the WooCommerce setup wizard. And basically, the WooCommerce setup wizard is going to get us through about 90% of what we need to run an online for our online store. So it's going to take us through a bunch of different questions, asking our business location, all stuff like that. So we're just going to go ahead and activate. And we would like to go through the startup wizard. So the first question should be your address. So I'm just going to put in 123 example street, Australia, Queensland, city of Brisbane, postcode 4000. And if you were setting this up for a client, you can tick that box there. But we're setting up for on our own behalf. Click continue. That's going to take us to the industry. So you can say what kind of business you run. So because it's a coffee business, I'm going to go with food and drink and click continue. You can tell what kind of products you're selling. So we're selling physical products, but you can also sell membership subscriptions. So subscriptions, memberships, bookings, different things like that. These will all be additional plugins that you have to pay for. Perfect. How many products do you wish to display? I'm going to go with, I think, 1 to 10. And how are you currently selling these elsewhere? Not currently, but you could go with, yes, if you do it like in store or something like that. If you have your own online, if you have your own bricks and mortar store, it's going to have a bunch of different plugins for you to use. So this is the market on Facebook. So this one basically helps you install your Facebook retargeting pixel. So you can. So one of the things that you can do is target people based off of actions taken on your website. So if someone's added a product to cart, you could target an ad. But let's say they've put a product in the cart but haven't committed to checking out. You can target ads to people based off of that action. Or if they've purchased a product, you can then target ads to them offering more products, but that's completely up to you. I'm going to take that off. MailChimp is one of the biggest email marketing tools. So if you want to be able to capture people's emails at checkout and be able to market them further, give them more offers, and increase the amount of times that people come back and purchase your store, you can do that. Or you can increase sales of Google Ads. I'm just going to turn all these plugins off for now. These are all going to be additional plugins that would get installed into your plugin section. So here we can choose the theme that we want to go with. We're going to go with the Storefront theme here. So click choose. Pro tip, nothing will happen when you click it to begin with. Don't click it a second time because you may break your website. So just click it the once and then just leave it. I've found that out the hard way. Would you like to install Jetpack? Me personally, I've found that Jetpack slows down my website substantially and really haven't found too much of a use for it. I haven't experimented with this lately, so this may have changed, but in the past, it's not really been all that beneficial, so I'm just going to go with no thanks. Perfect, and we are almost done. We can start adding products, personalizing the store, setting up shipping, and set up payments. So first thing I'm going to do is set up shipping. I like to set up the shipping first, because then I can then choose which shipping products I would like to have for each. I'm just going to put in a flat cost of $5 because we're going to go into more depth in a second. Perfect. Settings. Because I like to create in-depth rules based off of shipping. So basically, the default version of WooCommerce only has flat rate shipping, and you can't target shipping by weight of the product, which can be frustrating to a lot of people. That's an additional paid plugin, but we can get 90% of the way there with different rules that WooCommerce gives us. So first thing we're going to do is to create some shipping classes. So I'm going to create a couple of ones, and I'm going to create shipping classes based off of weight of the product. So first one I'm going to create is 250 grams. These are all labels for us. These aren't necessarily for the people won't see these. These are for us for our own reference. I'm just going to do these for coffee and 1 kilogram. Add shipping class. I'm going to create a shipping class for mugs. And equipment. So this is going to create shipping classes for each of these products, save shipping classes. So we can create rules for each of these different shipping classes. Shipping options. I think that should be all fine. Default. Perfect. All right, so you can create different rules for different regions. So I've got one for Australia. So you can create, but what we can do is if our shop's located in Brisbane and we've got a bricks and mortar Brisbane store, and you can do this anywhere as well, we can create one specifically for our city. So we can also offer local pickup, because we don't want to offer local pickup to say someone who lives in Melbourne or someone who lives in Sydney, and they choose the free local pickup, but the problem is that they're 9 hours drive away. So I want to offer local pickup only to people who live in Brisbane. So I'm going to limit it to postcodes. So I'm just going to go, actually, this should be Queensland. Let's go. Australia, Queensland. Perfect. So this is going to be to only people who put this state and then the postcode region, because you still have a lot of cities within Queensland as well. So even Cairns, which is a long way away, I don't want to be offering local pickup. So I'm going to restrict it to postcodes within Brisbane. And to do that, we can go 4,000, which is the first Brisbane postcode, and then put 3 dot to I think it's 4187 is the last Brisbane postcode, 4187. So it just depends on your city. Also check with your shipping provider, whoever fulfills your shipments, what they consider the limits to Brisbane City, because a lot of places will offer discounted or even reduced prices for within the same city. So that's something you just have to look into. Add shipping methods. You can add flat rate, local pickup, and free shipping. So I'm going to add local pickup. Perfect. So people can opt to have a pickup option. You can charge for this if you want to, but most people don't. And flat rate. Perfect. So I'm just going to put this above. All right. So we can go flat rate, so the cost. So we can create shipping costs for each individual type of shipping class, and whether you want to choose the charge based for each shipping class or for the most expensive. So let's say they have a 1 kilo bag and a 250 kilo bag in their checkout. Do you want to charge each shipping cost and add them both together, or do you want to base it off of the 1 kilo, which would be the most expensive one? So that's completely up to you. So what we can do is calculate how much shipping would be for 1 kilo bag. And generally, when you ship two kilo bags in one bag, if you were to ship 2 1 kilo coffee bags in one bag, it wouldn't cost double. It only costs maybe $2 more. So we can calculate on average how much shipping increases per bag. So let's say it costs us $5 to ship a 1 kilo bag and $2 for each additional bag. What we can do is bracket 3 plus square, let me go 3 plus bracket 2 times square bracket QTY, close square bracket, close bracket. Okay, so what this tells WooCommerce is 2 times the amount of 1 kilo bags in the shopping cart plus 3. So if there's one 1 kilo bag, 2 times 1 is 2 plus 3 is 5. And then for each additional bag that increases, 2 times 2 is 4 plus 3 is 7. So it increases by 2 for each additional bag that we add. I'm going to take this, copy, paste. So let's say I want to charge $3 for my first bag and $1 for each additional bag of 250 gram bag. So that'd be 1 times 1 is 1, plus 2 is 3. And then for each additional bag, 1 times 2 is 4, plus 2 is 4. And that's how we can kind of replicate weight-based shipping to the best of our abilities. Equipment's going to be a little bit heavier. So I'm going to charge $6 and then $3 for each additional bag, 3 times the amount plus 3. Mugs are going to be the same as the 250 gram bag because they're quite light, and save changes. Perfect. We can go back to the shipping zones. And what we want to do is have the smallest area on top. So what I find WooCommerce does, it basically goes through all the shipping rules and will basically assign the first one that it finds the shipping rate. So if Australia is first and the shipping location is within Australia, it's going to assign them the shipping rules for Australia before the shipping rules for Brisbane. Whereas we want them to go, if they're in Brisbane or outside of Brisbane, and then assign them Australia after that if they're not within Brisbane. So we need to put Brisbane first, put the smallest place first. Perfect. Flat rate. And I'm going to charge a little bit more for these. So I'm going to go, let's go 3 and 3. So same as the equipment for the first one because it costs a little bit more to ship outside of my city. So I'm going to go 6 plus that. Let's go with, let's put a space in there. Perfect. I'm going to go with 3 and 2. These weigh a little bit more, so I'm going to go with 4 and that. And mugs can be the same as this one. Perfect. Most expensive. Let's get rid of that. And save. And go back to our shipping zones. Perfect. So we have set up our shipping zones for Brisbane and for Australia. So we are all set. Now we can go ahead and start creating our website. So what I'm going to do is create 2 pages. So I'm going to go page. So I'm going to create, when you install WooCommerce, they're going to automatically install a bunch of pages. So there are 2 extra pages that we need to create. So I'm going to go with home, publish. Publish. And I'm going to make a blog page. Let's open that in another page. And blog, publish. So when we create home pages and blog pages within WordPress or by default isn't going to know that those pages are the blog page and the home page. So we need to tell WordPress this is on my home page and this is my blog page. So we're going to go customize, and that's going to bring out this little sidebar here. And we're going to go home page settings and go from your latest post to a static page and assign homepage to the homepage section, and then post page is going to be the blog, and publish and go back. So I'm going to go through all of these and show you a bunch of things that we can do within here. And then we're going to start adding content to our pages. So we can go to site identity. This is how we can change what text is here. You can also add a site logo. So the site logo will replace all this text here. But that's completely up to you. So I'm going to call this Ryan's Coffee. The tagline is the best coffee in Brisbane. And you can add a site logo, which is going to take over the little corner image just there. Go back. Header. So we can add a header color picture if we want. We can change the color. So whether you want it to be a little bit darker, you can have it like a light gray if you like. You can even have it purple. It's completely up to you. And if you have it purple, you might want to change these to something like white color. But I'm just going to stick with the default. But that's something you can edit depending on your branding. Perfect. And you can do the same with the footer as well. Background, you can change the background color, even add a background image if you like. You can change the different colors of the heading color, the text. Hero heading color is specific to the homepage template. So I'll show you that in a sec. You can change the button colors to something that might fit your branding. You can change the layout, so whether you want to have the sidebar on the left or the right. I'm just going to keep it on the right. Perfect. Now we're going to edit the menus. So we've got a couple of different locations for menus. You've got primary, secondary, and handheld. So I'm going to show you the primary next. And we're going to start adding some items. So I'm going to add the home page, the blog page. I'm going to go with shop. Perfect. And I'm going to assign this a role of primary. And publish. I'm going to go create new menu, secondary. So you have a couple of options. What I like to do with the primaries and the secondaries, I'm going to just do this with my account, just so you can see where it is. So what you could do is with these is you can either put your My Account tab here. This is your primary menu and that's your secondary menu here. What you could do as well is you could go, what do we have? Custom links, and you could do this with your Facebook page for your website. So .com/Ryan's Coffee, right? Facebook ad. Ooh. HTTPS add to menu. So you could have your social media links here if you wanted to. I quite like having the My Accounts page. That's something I quite like there. Perfect. Publish. And then create the menu. And you can have your handheld menu. So if you've got menus that are specific to the mobile, you can create that here. So I'm going to go handheld, add items. Let's go pages, home, blog, my account, and shop. Put that above. Perfect. So what you'll find is that what I like to do is consolidate the primary and the secondary into the mobile menu, because these aren't differentiated on the mobile. So you could have, I like to consolidate all of them so you can see all the menus. Perfect. And then we can edit the widgets and even customize WooCommerce from here as well. I'll show you some stuff with the widgets later. We'll do that last. Perfect. So we've created our homepage and our blog page. This is a default blog post that comes with WordPress, which you can delete. That's fine. So we are ready to get started creating content for our homepage. So I'm going to go edit post. And first thing I'm going to do is change the template to full width. You can do homepage. So the homepage template what you can do is add a featured image as your hero image. And it's going to automatically create widgets that are going to autofill on your homepage. It's completely up to you if you want to do that. That's the easier approach. I like to be a little bit more custom with mine. So I'm going to go with full width. And we're going to start adding some content. So I'm going to put in a cover image. Cover. Let's go full width and upload. So I'm going to upload a photo here. Which one was I going to go with? I think that's the one. Oh, wait, no, that one. Select files. Oh, there we are. It's already there. Perfect. And you can add some content. So I'm going to call this Ryan's Coffee. Let's make this heading. center it, and we can change the color. So whatever would fit the custom color. Let's go with white. So whatever will fit the background, so you can change that around easily. Update. Perfect. Let's go preview that. There we are. So we've got our nice little cover image. We can add a little bit of a tagline. The best coffee in Brisbane. Let's center that. And we can add a button. Get started. Add the link to the shop. Edit shop. Perfect. Sorry, shop. Perfect. And let's center that as well. Styles. Where do we center this? There we are. Line center. So we've centered that off. Update. And we can refresh that. Oops, maybe it's not updated. Update. Perfect. There we go. So we started adding some bit of content to our page. Too easy. We can also fix the background so it creates it like gives it a parallax effect if we like. So let's update that. So there we've got a nice little parallax effect going on. Perfect. And we can ready to start adding some content. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just add in some products first, and then we can start filling out our page. So I'm going to go new product. Perfect. So let's go with product image. Select files. So I can see these a bit more. So I'm going to go with this bag. Set product image. All right. Add category. Coffee. Perfect. So we can add the coffee in here. So let's go with dark roast. Let's take our filler text. Copy. Paste. And paste that here. Perfect. So we've got a couple of different options when it comes to assigning the product data. We can go simple product, group product, external affiliate product, or variable product. So a simple product, it's just that one product. So let's say there's one variation. We can just go with that, add the price and different things like that. What I'm going to do today is create a variable product. Going to go with attributes, add a custom product attribute. I'm going to go this with size. Let's go with 250 grams. And then we have to add a line and then 1 kilogram. Perfect. Use for variations and save attributes. Perfect. So we've created our size attributes. Now we can go to variations. Create variations from all attributes and click go. And that's going to pull in those two variations that we just created. Perfect. Let's go. So now we can start adding different products. So let's say we've got different product images. We have the 250 gram image and the 1 kilo image. We can add that there. We can create custom SKUs. We can create a price. I'm going to price this one at let's say $10 you have in stock. You can also add the weight. So I'm going to go 250 grams. Oh, wait, sorry. 0.250. Perfect. So now these are the shipping classes. So this is the shipping class. So we're telling WooCommerce that we're going to assign this product this shipping class, and that's going to give and assign it the rules that we created. So whether someone puts their shipping in Brisbane or in Australia, it's going to assign them the pricing that we created for this specific rule. Perfect. And go here. Let's going to go with. I'm going to price this at $30, 1 kilo, and go the 1 kilo weight. Perfect. Save changes. Perfect. Now I'm going to go back to inventory. I'm just going to enable stock management at product level. Wait, sorry. Variations. Yeah, manage stock. There we are. Sorry. So I'm going to manage the stock. So we can adjust the stock quantity here. So I'm going to go with, I've got 10. So I'm going to say I've got 10 of those. And I've got manage stock. And 10. You can also allow back orders if that's something you wanted. Perfect. Save changes. You can even add a product gallery. So that's going to allow you to, so you can have multiple images on there as well. Perfect. Publish. Perfect. So we have created our first product. So I'm just going to visit the store and we're going to check this out. Perfect. So we have our product here and we've got our drop down of 250 grams or the 1 kilos. It's going to tell us how many is in stock. And what we can do as well is assign the default product that we're going to, default size. So I'm going to go default size of 250 grams and then update. Perfect. So if I refresh this, so by default, the 250 grams is going to be assigned the role. So we've got additional information, it tells us the size, and people can start adding reviews and things like that. We've got our content, and we are ready to add some more products in. Let's go product. I'm going to call this the light roast. Let's add in our filler text. So, of course, you would just replace this with your own sales copy there as well. Go variable product. Let's go variations, or attributes, sorry. Add size used for variations, 250 gram, 1 kilogram. Save attributes. Variations. Create variations from all attributes. Go. That's good. Perfect. So now we can do the same thing here. I'm going to price this the same. 15. Manage stock. I'm going to have 20 of this one. Perfect. Wait. I'm just going to start whipping through these just a little bit quicker so we can kind of get through this a little bit faster. 30. 2. 1 kilo. Save changes. Perfect. Now we're going to start adding in some different products. Let's go. Whoop. Publish. Go and add a new product. So I'm going to add a couple of different product types into here as well so we can have some categories. Let's go. What should we add next? Product image, upload file. Let's go with that one. Gonna add some mugs in there. What does that say, that product? says coffee and create. Let's go with that. Coffee and create mug. Got our content, add a new category. I'm going to call this mug and add the category. Perfect. So we've got the mug in there. This one's just going to be a simple product because there's no variations to this one. So I'm going to charge this $10. Inventory, we can manage how much we have. So let's say I've got 30 of these. We can also set the low stock threshold. So this is going to give us a notification. So I want at 5. So let's say, so this can take this takes a little bit of tweaking, but it can be a really great way to manage your store. So let's say you have, so let's say you sell on average 5 a week, and let's say it takes a week for them to once you've put an order in to get back in. I might want to set the order at 6. So I'm going to get an email that tells me that there's 6 left, so I know that I need to put an order in to make sure that I've got enough, so I don't have any out of stocks, but keeping the inventory management to a reasonable level. Perfect. Let's go shipping with mugs. That's going to assign it the shipping class of mugs. And that should be everything. We can also link the products. So if, say, on the checkout page, I want to upsell them the light roast. If they're buying a mug, they might be interested in the light roast, 250 gram, and the dark roast, 250 gram. Perfect. So, and then we could also cross sell them. So if they have other mugs as well, they're interested in. Perfect. Publish. Perfect. And I'm going to add new product. Let's go with another mug. Product image, upload file. So I'm just using stock images for my product images, but of course you would go ahead and get your own product images. Let's go with this one. Choose happy mug. Content, mug, got the product image, simple. I'm going to charge this at $10, but I'm going to have a sale for $8. Inventory, manage stock levels. I'm going to have 40 of these, and I want a notification at 10 because they're a faster seller. Shipping, mugs, perfect. And I'm going to go link products. So let's cross-sell the create mug, coffee and create mug, and I'm going to upsell them the light roast and the dark roast. Perfect. Publish. Perfect. So now we've got some images going, got some products going. Let's go to the shop so we can start seeing how it's starting to build out now. So we've got all our products. The light roast image wasn't there. Let's fix that up real quick. If you see that image, that's going to be the default image of WooCommerce if there's no product image assigned. Let's go upload file. Let's give it another image. Let's go with that one. Select and update. Perfect. So I'm just going to add another product in there just so we can kind of build out the online store a little bit more. And equipment. If you were running an online coffee store and let's say you didn't have things like mugs and equipment and stuff like that, you could have your categories as roasts. Let's say you have like some limited release stuff. You could also do that. So I'm going to add that as a category. You can even have subcategories. So let's say I wanted dark roast. I'm going to have that as a parent category of coffee. You can even do things like that. So that's a subcategory. I'm going to go light roast. Have that as a subcategory of coffee as well. So you can have different roasts in there as well. That's something that you can do too. Perfect. I'm going to have. Wait, I didn't want to call this one equipment. Sorry. Let's go. Upload. I'm going to go with this one. Set product image. Let's call this the Chemex. Price this at $50. Inventory, manage stock level. Let's say I've got 50 of these. Stock threshold at, let's say it's a long time to arrive. Shipping class, equipment. I think products. Let's say I want to upsell them the dark roast and the light roast, and I want mugs. Let's go cross sell the mugs. You can choose 3 products of each. 3 products in the upsells and the cross sells. Coffee and create. Choose happy. Perfect. I think that is everything. Publish. Perfect. So now we have our products. We are ready to go. So what we can start doing here, let's get rid of this, is I'm going to create header. Let's go with coffee. Let's go categories. Header 2, that's fine. I want assign center. So from here, what I'm going to do is add a category section underneath. So what we need to do here to display all the categories that we have is we're going to go to add new. We're going to add a short code. So I'm going to go square bracket product underscore categories. And then if I go just product categories, it's going to have a default number of columns. So I'm going to go update and preview. So as you can see here, it's great if we have 4 because it's already going to assign the space it out for 4, but I want it to be centered for the 3. So I'm going to go product categories, and you can change this depending on how many products categories you have. So I'm going to go columns equals quote 4 unquote 3 quote, and update and preview. Perfect. So we've got our categories, but the category images are a bit off. So what we're going to do is I'm going to quickly change these so we can see how the final product will look, so we can start just building it out. Let's go to the dashboard, products, categories. And then from here, we're going to edit all these products. So I'm going to go to coffee, edit, and we're going to upload an image. So I'm going to go and choose. Let's go with this one, open, and use the image. Perfect. Update, and head back to the categories. Perfect. Equipment. And I'm going to add one for the equipment too. Let's go with this image. Use image. Update. Back to categories. And one more for mugs. Upload the file. And I'm just going to go with this nice red one here. Open. Use image. And update. So now when I go back, let's go Ryan's Coffee, visit site. And here we've got all our nice product images, predicted product images there. So we can click on these, and that's going to show us all the coffee images, all the coffee products. You can go back. We can choose equipment. And it shows us all the equipment here. We can start adding things like, let's say, we can start adding other widgets and stuff in here too as well to increase the there's a bunch of extra additional things we can start adding to our page to really make it customized and suitable to our brand. So we can add things like, let's add another heading, we recommend. Center that. Perfect. And let's add in, let's go handpicked products. So I'm going to go with dark roast, light roast, and the Chemex. Done. Perfect. So it's going to have the recommended sections. We can go with product category list. That's all good. That's, we have that one. Products by category. Go with mugs. Done. I don't want to add in. Let's add in heading, mugs, line center, update. Perfect. Let's take a look. Here we've got our recommended section. I've got the mugs. At least I recommend having 3 products, just so it fills out that extra space. But there we go. We've started to really build out our homepage. We've got nice little images there. Quality of images is really important, I find. You can have a pretty average looking template, but if you've just got really great looking products, it really goes a long way to improving it. Some other things we can start to do to really make our site look more professional. I'm going to go to dashboard. So one of the big things I'm a big fan of when it comes to the storefront theme is changing some of the default templates. So I'm going to go and just get rid of some of these, clean up pages. Let's go with checkout, my account, leave the shop, and leave the cart. So by default, when you come to these pages, you're going to have this sidebar here. We can change these widgets, which I highly recommend, because default WordPress is going to have widgets that are specific for blogging, and we're going to change these to more e-commerce specific. But when it comes to some of these pages, it's better to have them as full width. And what I find is, when I have someone, when I want someone going through the checkout process, I want them to be focused on the checkout and not distracted by widgets. So I'm going to go with and change that to full width, update, and I'll show you the tab in my account. Like if someone's in their account tab, I really don't want them distracted by a bunch of these extra widgets. I want them to be focusing on the page. Let's go full width, update. I'm just going to preview that. So as you can see here, it's gotten rid of that sidebar, and now we've just got all the things they need for their page. Let's go to the checkout. This might just redirect us to the cart. Yeah, it's redirected us to the cart. The cart I don't mind because that's what people are viewing, but if you wanted to, you can also change that as well. If there's nothing in your cart, you'll be redirected out of the checkout page. Default, full width, update. Perfect. Let's preview that. Yeah, so we've got a nice full width page, no widgets to distract people. All right, so what I'm going to do now is let's edit some of these widgets. Go to the page, we're going to go customize. So as I said before, by default, all the widgets you're going to get on the page here are going to be blogging specific. So we're going to go to widgets, sidebar, and let's clear out these. And when you install WooCommerce, it's going to give you a bunch of widgets that you can use specifically for WooCommerce. We're going to go add widget. All right, let's go filter product by price. These are always really good. So whether you want to you can have people say like, oh, I don't want to spend more than $30. So it's going to get rid of all the products that don't meet that criteria. Let's have the cart in there. Let's go with add widgets. Let's go. Product categories. And publish. There we are. So our store's starting to come together now. We've got our shop page. You can start adding content to your blog if you like as well. We've got the blog page. And what we're going to do is we're just going to run through these a bit. Actually, what I might do here, I'll show you we can increase the size of this. I quite like a nice big header. So I'm going to add some spacing in there. Let's add a block above the text. Let's go layout, spacing. Let's go with, how many pixels do we want? Let's keep it at 100. Oops. Layout elements, spacing, perfect. Update and preview. There, so we just padded out our header so it's a little bit thicker, and you can really play around with that, add extra size to it. So you can go, let's say you want that to be 150, and you can really customize and play around with it and really fit your the design and the aesthetic that you're going for. Preview. Perfect. Nice big header. Really cool parallax effect. And we've built out a really cool looking homepage. So let's go ahead and start seeing what the checkout page looks like. So let's select options. You can choose 250 grams. Add to cart. And we've got our nice page. Go view cart. And then the last thing that you need to do as well is make sure that, here we are, we can calculate shipping. Refresh that. Perfect. So now we're at the checkout page. This is where we can see whether the shipping is working. So let's go to here. Let's go Australia, Queensland, and let's go 4,000. Update. Oh, that's not right. Sorry. Postcode 4,000 and update. So we have a $3 flat rate shipping, or we can go local pickup, and that's free as well. But let's say we go outside of the Brisbane city limits to 4200. And it's taken that option away. Perfect. So the shipping all works. Perfect. We should be all done. The last thing you need to do is just configure the payment gateways. So if we go to the dashboard, Woocommerce settings, let's go payments. And then we can choose how we want to get paid. So whether you want to go PayPal. So let's go setup. So enable PayPal standard. So you can add your PayPal email here. You can also add your, where are we? Live API details. Perfect. So the thing that I would recommend using the API details is that it's going to help you automate your refunds and returns. So one of the big things that this one does a refund. If you wanted to process it via your WooCommerce store, you need to add in your live API details. Otherwise, what you would need to do is go into your PayPal account and process the refund from there. So I recommend having your API details in here. So that means that if someone bought from your store, you can process the payments directly from your WooCommerce store. Perfect. So we are all done. Just going to put the camera back on. So thank you so much for watching today's video. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to get in contact with me. Leave a comment below on if there's another product that you'd like to see me build out an entire online store around. And don't forget, use coupon code TRIAL at Caffeine Hosting for your first month of hosting for only 1 cent when you purchase a domain name. And one of the promotions I'm running is that I want to help you build a store just like this. And that's free if you get your hosting through Caffeine Hosting. We're going to have one-on-one sessions. We're going to go through the whole thing. We've got an hour to really build out your store. And as you can see here, it doesn't take very long at all to build out a online store that looks fantastic, that looks professional. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you next time.